All right, I wanted to say some things about the term objective morality. I've been hearing some incorrect definitions of the term or incorrect usages of it. The first being that people might say, I believe in objective morality because I believe we can all agree on an objective and base our moral values around that. That is an equivocation. That's not what the term means. Objective morality is not referring to, it's not using the word objective as just another word for goal. The other definition that I keep hearing that's incorrect is that people will say that we can all agree on a goal and then try to find out the objectively most effective way to meet that goal. That is also not what the term means. There is an actual definition of the term objective morality or moral objectivism, and you can look it up. What it means basically is that it's the view that what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong, independent of anyone's opinion. Now, that's not to be confused with moral absolutism, which is, it takes it a step further and says it's also wrong, certain things are right or wrong, independent of context. Absolutism is just a subcategory of moral objectivism. And so that's important to understand right off the bat. So contrast that with subjectivism, which says the opposite. It says that morality is a matter of opinion, not fact. I think that most people, if they really think about it, they believe in objective morality. They believe that certain things are objectively wrong, or at least that's how they live. In fact, outside of the context of like religious debates, like some Christian apologists will try to use this belief in objective morality in an argument for God's existence, and I've seen atheists deny the existence of objective morality just to try to get past the argument, which I don't think that's necessary. Like, take for example William Lane Craig's moral argument. Like some of you guys know that I actually defend some of Craig's arguments, but I actually don't think the moral argument is any good because I don't think the first premise, and that is the first premise says if there is no God, objective moral values do not exist. I don't think that's a very well supported premise, and in fact, I'm kind of going off on a tangent here, but in fact, I think that Craig's own his own refutation of the Euthyphro dilemma, which is a good one, it's a good, sound, solid refutation of the Euthyphro. It's dead, okay? In that refutation, though, the third option that Craig gives to show that the Euthyphro is a false dilemma is that God could himself be the good. He could be the good himself. And so basically he could be morality is the idea. And I think that's coherent, but I think that what that means is that since God can exist by necessity of his own nature, then we can say morality can exist by the necessity of its own nature, and so therefore we don't need a foundation. So, like, we don't need God to exist to explain morality's existence. It's kind of the idea. But that's a tangent. I'm trying to make sure I don't lose my train of thought here too much. But so I think that atheists unnecessarily will deny the existence of objective morality, and I'm not trying to give an argument for its existence myself, but I am saying that we have this moral sense. All of us have a moral sense, and we don't have any reason to doubt the veridicality of that sense. Like, I agree with Craig when he says that for any argument that you can come up with for why we should be skeptical of what our moral experiences are telling us, we can find a parallel argument for why we should be skeptical of what our physical senses are telling us. And I think that's true. Like, for example, some people say, well, how can morality be objective when we all disagree on it? And I think it's a fair question. If you think about it, like when you really think about it, though, it's like, would we say the same thing about our physical senses? Like, a blind man can't see what we can see. People with vision, we can see things. It doesn't mean that they're not there just because not everyone can see them. And it's kind of the same mindset, is that I would say that, for example, someone who believes that it's morally acceptable to torture a child for fun, I would say that person is incorrect. I would say it's a matter of fact that it is wrong to do that. And that's just what I believe. And I think most people believe that. But like I say, in the context of a religious debate, they're kind of reluctant to agree. So I think that's about everything. As always, guys, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me, leave a comment below. I'd love to have a discussion with you. And if you have any suggestions for a new topic, something you'd like me to weigh in on, I'd be happy to do that as well. So, as always, guys, thanks for listening, and I'll catch you later.